Hello everybody, today we are going to discuss a very essential process which happen in plant, that is your photosynthesis. And we are going to discuss today how photosynthesis is going to happen in the plant, what are the major steps, and how autotrophs are using sunlight to produce a carbohydrate, that is our simple sugar. So in this diagram we are seeing that leaf is there, and the sunlight which is falling over it, and by the help of carbon dioxide and the water it's converting into carbohydrate, and oxygen is evolved out. So first we have to know what type of process is photosynthesis. So photosynthesis is a anabolic process, is anabolic process. Anabolic process means a type of metabolism where the constructive process is going on, that is called anabolic. And we have another process which is called catabolism. So like example here is your photosynthesis, it's a constructive process. Likewise we have a catabolic process. Catabolic process, it's a type of a metabolism where all destruction work is going on, destruction process happens. So we can say the example is your respiration is a good example, like that. So next we have to see what is the importance of autotrophs, because autotrophs are the organisms which do the photosynthesis. How the entire universe or the organism which are present in on earth, how they are how they are dependent on autotrophs, we are going to discuss first thing here. So generally we can see that autotrophs are of two types, like all plants, all animals, that they are the source of energy. How we are going to deal it today. So we have a two type of autotrophs, the chemotroph and the photoautotroph. About photoautotroph we are going to discuss, that is in the part of the photosynthesis. Chemotroph, it's a type of autotroph where the organisms itself generate the energy by the help of some biochemical reaction which is going inside their body. So by the help of that the energy is evolved and they use it as a source of food. Now the main part, the overview we are going to discuss here, that what is happening actually in the photosynthesis, that we are seeing here 6 CO2 combines with a water molecule and simple sugar and glucose, and which is called glucose, and oxygen is evolved. So here we will discuss how the things are going on. So let me introduce show you a demo outline how the things are going on. Suppose this is your leaf. So the water is coming in through the root by ascent of sap. By transpiration the water is coming up. Okay, the plant contains some chlorophyll molecules, that's green part is your chlorophyll, and through respiration carbon dioxide is formed. So generally when the stomata is open, which is present at the margin, water get combines with this carbon dioxide to form C6H12O6 and oxygen also, which comes out. And a very essential thing which is helping in this conversion is the sunlight. Without sunlight, this conversion is not going to happen. So finally we are seeing that oxygen is coming out as a byproduct. Okay, so this oxygen is used by the other organism for the survival. So in the next part, now we have to know how the respiration and photosynthesis is interrelated. Interrelation between photosynthesis and your respiration. It doesn't mean that plant is not going to respire. Plant is a living organism, so they have to respire and they will take oxygen and they have to release the carbon dioxide. So generally the maximum fixation of CO2 is happened by your algae. Algae are the major component which do the maximum carbon dioxide fixation. So now we will see how both are interrelated. Suppose take a three condition. I am taking a three condition. Condition first, that is very darkness is there. In darkness plant will respire. So during respiration oxygen will be taken by the plant and plant will release CO2. This shows that no photosynthesis. Second condition, if I am going to take, that is your suppose dim light is there. Dim light. So in this dim light is there. So photosynthesis will happen and respiration will also happen here. See how? Actually it's not happen here, it is happening. So how? Let's see. Suppose plant is respire. Okay, and plant is also doing photosynthesis. So what is happening actually? Whatever the oxygen is coming from the photosynthesis, like whatever the oxygen is coming from photosynthesis is used up in respiration. Okay, and whatever the carbon dioxide is coming through respiration is used in photosynthesis. So simply we can say in this condition that rate of respiration becomes equal to rate of photosynthesis. the rate of photosynthesis. That is called compensation point. A compensation point is a situation, it's a condition in which the rate of respiration becomes equal to the rate of photosynthesis. Now, suppose a bright light is there. So during bright light, what the condition will happen, we will see it here. Plant will do respiration and plant will do photosynthesis also, because there is a presence of light. So here, whatever the oxygen will evolve from photosynthesis, it is used in respiration, and also some part will go in air, and whatever the carbon dioxide will evolve during respiration, it will be used by photosynthesis during photosynthesis, and some of the carbon dioxide will come out in air. So that means here rate of photosynthesis is faster than rate of respiration. So simply we can say here that rate of photosynthesis or photosynthesis is faster than respiration. This condition is your called compensation point. Compensation point. So here we have discussed how the respiration and photosynthesis are interlinked. Now we have to see what are the raw materials required for this process. So the raw materials are generally raw material for photosynthesis. That is, the first essential raw material which is required here is your chlorophyll molecule. Chlorophyll molecule. So it may be some types also, like chlorophyll A, B, C, D, E, like that. Apart from AB, we have a carotenoid, xanthophyll, now second essential thing which is required here is your carbon dioxide. Third is your water, and the fourth is the sunlight. And the main thing, the site where this will occur is your chloroplast. So first of all, we have to see how the structure of chloroplast, how they are forming, how the internal physiology is there, how they are formed, how the photosynthesis is going on, and what are the steps behind that. So first take an overview that the reactants, we have carbon dioxide and water. So simply we are seeing in this picture that in product form, in glucose the carbon is coming from carbon dioxide, oxygen is coming from again carbon dioxide, and And very interesting part here we have to know this, that the oxygen which is coming out is basically formed by water. See, in this arrow, in this part we are seeing that this water molecule is giving oxygen. Hydrogen is involved here in this water, as well as in carbon dioxide, sorry, as well in carbohydrate also. So this is the overview by which we can know that from where which compound, which molecule is coming from. So these are the part of the leaf where the functions, where the process of photosynthesis is going on. We have a stomata, this is the internal structure, and through this is stomata, this is the guard cells through which the respiration is going on. And again, it's an essential part, because if suppose respiration is not going on, then photosynthesis will stop, or the rate will be very slow. So this is your structure of chloroplast, where we are seeing that some part of, so let me draw a simple structure so that we can know how the things are attached. So this is your structure of chloroplast. This is a double membranous cell organelle. Two membranes are there. That is, this is your outer chloroplastidial membrane. Like that, this will be the inner chloroplastidial membrane. Now there's a liquid which is present in this system, that is called your stroma, that is your matrix. Inside there is a plate like structure which are arranged like this on one another, like a array. And like that we have a mini plate like structure that is your called thylakoid, and the entire stalk of this thylakoid is called granum. So here actually in this thylakoid, this is like this, they contains the photosynthetic pigment like this. Photosynthesis pigments are there. This is your photosynthetic pigment, also called quantasome. So now we will see how the process is going on now. So again, a very essential part, that is your light, because again without light, without the exact wavelength of light is not going to given to the plant, it will affect the rate of photosynthesis. That is the ultimate goal, that we have to know the electromagnetic spectrum also. So let us see. So we have starting from gamma rays to the radio waves. So in between, nearby 10 to the power 3 nanometer, we have visible light range, which is starting from 380 nanometer to 750 nanometer. So we can see here that shorter wavelength, this is generally the shorter wavelength have the high energy, and longer wavelength has a low energy, like red light. So red light has a longer wavelength, that means we can see the red light from very far also. That's why this is also used as a danger sign sometimes, because this light, because it has a longer wavelength, and we can use it as a for any notation. Thanks. So next part we are going to study, that is pigment. So we are seeing here that how the pigment, the quantasome which are present here, and they're getting the sunlight. When sunlight falls over this quantasome, some of the lights are reflected, some of the lights are transmitted, and some of the lights are absorbed. We are seeing here. So generally, whatever the light energy is absorbed, it will be used as your for the excitation of the pigments. So let us see the next part. So these are the pigments, how the pigment experimentation is done. We are checking how the which part of the light is more essential. So generally we are seeing that chlorophyll A and B are most essential part of the chlorophyll and acting as excitation. So these are the chlorophyll molecules. The chlorophyll molecules is your, it's a porphyrin ring, which is a light absorbing head. This is your hydrocarbon tail. It may be saturated and unsaturated also. So here we are seeing that magnesium is present in the center, so that means this is a very essential part of chlorophyll molecule. So we can see that how the steps mechanism behind mechanism of photosynthesis. So first step is your light reaction, and second step is your dark reaction. Light reaction means light dependent. Light dependent reaction, and this is your light independent. That means light is not required for this process, but whatever the product is formed during the light reaction is required. So we are seeing here that the reaction is going on. See the light reaction, this is happening in so start with the first part, that is your light reaction. First thing about this is your light is required, sunlight is required here. Okay, so where is happening? This will happen in the thylakoid. In thylakoid this process will happen. So we are seeing that what is happening actually uh, in light reaction. Your main features in this process, in this reaction, is first photolysis of water. That is your photolysis of water. What is a photolysis? Photolysis means simply uh, water will be broken down in the presence of the sunlight. So that means to say that light will, here the sunlight will work and it will split the water molecule into hydrogen and oxygen. So this oxygen will be used in by other organism, which is expelled out, and the second main part is going to happen here, that is your energy will be formed. That is your ATP, and the third main thing will happen here, that NADPH is formed. So we are seeing here that in this part, that is energy is stored Simply in light reaction, what is happening actually, uh, first main part is your photolysis is happening, by which the oxygen is coming out. And the second main thing which is happening here, that is your energy storage. So energy is stored in the two form, that is ATP and NADPH. So these two will again go for the light, for the dark reaction. So simply we can say that uh, this step stores the sun's energy in form of ATP and NADPH. Both are your energy currency. Used in dark reaction. Now, in the second part, we are going to deal what is dark reaction. So in this light reaction, we are seeing here that photosynthetic pigments are involved. That is photosystem 1, 2, and they absorb the desired wavelength of light, that is 700 nanometer and 650 nanometer. So we are seeing here how the energy is transferred. Photon, that is your packet of light, is fall over photosystem, that is your thylakoid, and how the energy is excited, and finally energy is given. So event what is happening actually, again your water is forming, that is the main thing, and ATP and NADPH is going to form it. So in the next part we are going to see how the energy is given. So in the diagrammatic form we are seeing that light energy is taken, water splitting process is going on, and during the splitting of water, electron will be evolved. That electron will get excited and it will be go to the downhill journey, and it's going to get to the NADPH formation. Again this light energy is used, and finally the electron acceptor is your NADPH. That is your process which is happening now. So simply light reaction summary was that your sunlight is there, water is there, ATP, NADPH, and these things are formed. That is the main thing. And finally ATP and NADPH will go to the dark reaction, where the further process of photosynthesis will go on, and oxygen will be evolved out. Now again, after that it will go to the Kelvin cycle, that your dark reaction. So your dark reaction is going in your stroma, that liquid part, dark reaction. Second step, which is your light independent, but dependent on product of light reaction. And the entire formation of carbon dioxide, your glucose, goes in Kelvin cycle. So here we are going to see here what is going to happen. So first of all, your NADPH and ATP are used for the conversion of your CO2 to C6H12O6, and also water will be there. So now in this chain reaction, we are going to see that three processes is going to happen here. That first of all, carbon fixation. See here, CO2 is coming in, so we have a Rubisco enzyme. That Rubisco enzyme will convert this into 3-PGA, that is a phosphoglycerate. So this 3-PGA will again convert into 1,3-bis phosphoglycerate, and during this process, during this conversion, the ATP is used. So ATP will be used and ADP will be formed. That means one energy currency is used. ADP will form, ATP will convert it into ADP. Again, in the next step, this 1,3-bis phosphoglycerate will be converted into a new molecule that is called glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate. That is your glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate. Okay, so again during this process some energy will be used up, and we can see what type of energy or which form. That is your NADPH, that is your NADPH will be used, and it will be given out in NADP plus. That means one proton is used up, and so after that this glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate will again move on to form 3GP G3P, sorry, that is your 3 triphosphate. So simply we are seeing that again in this process your regeneration of carbon dioxide acceptor is formed, and that is your RUBP. That means again this compound will form ribulose biphosphate or bisphosphate. Okay, finally this ribulose again combines with CO2. So simply we can say to form 6 molecule of 6 to form a carbohydrate, this cycle will go on 6 times. So each and every time, that is during this your you can see here in this diagram that again a ATP will be used and ADP will be formed, and again ribulose bisphosphate is formed, then again it combined with carbon dioxide, and again the chain will go on. Again we have one more thing here, so it will take 6 cycle to form a glucose molecule. So we can see here that this part, that's glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate, this is your 3G3P, that is your a type of a sugar. Okay, it will combine to form glucose, that is your output. So this is your output, and this was your input. Okay, so this is your first part of the reaction, this is your second part of the reaction, this is your third part of the reaction, and finally glucose is going to form it. Now, so So finally in this thing, what is happening actually, first of all carbon is going to fix. So carbon dioxide come into the stroma of the chloroplast, and there is a Rubisco enzyme which catalyzes the carbon dioxide to RUBP. That RUBP is this one, ribulose bi or bisphosphate, to create a unstable 6 carbon molecule that that it get broken down into 3 molecule, that is called 3-GPA, a G3P, that is your glycerol dehyde 3 phosphate, that molecule that is an unstable 3 carbon compound, and it finally combines to form one molecule of carbon dioxide. So in the second phase we are seeing that ATP phosphorylates each 3 PGA molecule and creates again an unstable compound. Then after that again, that is your 1,3 bisphosphoglycerate, which is a PGAL, and finally in the third part every 6 molecule of PGA is created, because the 6 times the Kelvin cycle is going to run. So the 5 molecule continue on the phase 3, while one leaf will be used in the organic compounds. So ATP is once again needed, however this time it's phosphorylate G3P to regenerate RUBP. After some time again the rearrangement will happen. And finally the summary of the Kelvin cycle is your whatever the product which was formed in light reaction, which is used up in dark reaction, combines with the carbon dioxide and form ADP, NADPH, NADP and PGL. Again the PGL will form fruits and all, and glucose will be formed from that material. So simply we have come to know that how this essential process is going on inside the plant. Thank you very much.